Climate change is one of humanity's most severe and urgent challenges. As can be expected from anything that has a worldwide impact, let's begin by understanding what exactly climate change is and what makes it so dreadful for our planet. The term climate change is used to denote the long-term changes in the weather patterns in a given region. Another term often interchanged with climate change is global warming. There could be several causes for climate change, but the biggest one is the rising concentration of greenhouse gases. Natural sources and human activities both result in the emission of greenhouse gases. One of the most common ways these gases get released into the atmosphere is through the burning of fossil fuels. Burning coal or oil to run industrial processes or giant factories increases the concentration of atmospheric carbon dioxide. Indeed, fossil fuels' contribution to greenhouse gas emissions is the largest, in the range of 70 to 80% of total emissions. Agriculture is another serious factor. Greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture come from livestock, such as cows, agricultural soils, and rice production, and are in the range of 10 to 15% of all emissions. Clearing forests for cultivation, industry, and other human activities also increases concentrations of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide concentration is the highest among all greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. Therefore, it is a significant contributor to global warming. The rise in global temperature changes several other weather patterns and geographical conditions. For example, an increase in temperature directly impacts the snow, river, and lake ice, sea ice, glaciers, ice caps, ice shelves, and ice sheets, as well as frozen ground, also known as permafrost. The rising surface temperature causes a decline in ice mass. Ice mass measurement by NASA's satellite shows that the Antarctic and Greenland mass is declining at an unprecedented rate. Glaciers are also retreating almost everywhere. Furthermore, oceans absorb almost 90% of the excess heat from the surrounding air, making it warmer. Although most of the heat is absorbed in the surface, as the rate of warming increases, the heat permeates to deeper waters and harms marine ecosystems. Sea level rise is caused primarily by water from melting ice sheets and glaciers, and the expansion of seawater as it warms. Satellite observations indicate that the sea height is increasing rapidly and will continue to rise at an increasingly rapid pace. The rise in sea levels negatively affects the populace of coastal areas. It also plays a role in flooding and leads to an increase in storms. Some extreme weather events include floods, droughts, hurricanes, and heat waves. Weather and climate extremes occur when the weather or climate metric is above or below a threshold value of the variable. As you can imagine, climate change or global warming doesn't happen overnight. These changes occur over decades or even centuries. Thus, it stands to reason that it's impossible to either stop or completely reverse its effects in just a few weeks or months. However, as a community, we could do many things to slow down global warming and eventually embrace ways to stop or reverse it. The first and most crucial aspect of recovery is awareness, namely understanding and spreading awareness about the risks associated with climate change. On a personal level, we could look at our transportation and power consumption habits. Since industrial and automobile emissions, along with the consumption of electricity, which is primarily generated by burning fossil fuels, are the most significant reasons for increasing carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere, climate change is a real threat. But if we all come together, take a stand, and be more environmentally conscious in our decisions, we can still save our beautiful blue planet.